Welcome back for another video. I'm Ehabad, a free-to-play endgame player in Raid Shadow Legends. I am actually still travelling at the moment, so I'm recording this on my laptop, hence the aspect ratio slightly off, as my MacBook won't let me do anything other than 16:10. We just got those little black bars on either side. Also recording on the mic that's built into the laptop, so the audio won't be quite the same quality as when I'm home. But anyway, hopefully that won't detract too much from the enjoyment of the video. Today we're going to take a look at Hydra. We'll be running my brutal team, which is right here. I did actually do a quick test before recording this video with Rector Drath in place of Duchess, and I got around 50 million damage. So it is certainly possible to run it without Duchess and still achieve the 1 key. And I'll probably follow that up in another video. But in this one, I want to really talk through the mechanics of the fight and the way that I'm approaching the fight with this composition. And again, just remember that Duchess can be replaced with another champion in that slot. Well, to be honest, really, when I'm talking through the mechanics, really, the whole team could be replaced. But I very much wanted to showcase this specific team, as I got 97 million with it last week, and we're going to try and get the 100 million this week. So let's crack on. Obviously, we got it off auto. With Duchess, it doesn't actually matter how we start the fight. I probably won't put block debuffs on straight away, because Blight will open with Poison Cloud rather than the AoE Poison. We'll just A1 with Duchess. Then we'll buff our speed, decrease theirs, get the old decreased defense and block buffs out. That will help us mitigate the majority of the mechanics. And then in terms of Geomancer's HP burn, this is a kind of an interesting one. I tend to prioritize taking out the champions that do single target attacks predominantly. So here, Blight and Mischief. Blight is also, not Blight, Decay and Mischief. Decay is also annoying because of needing to provoke him throughout the fight to stop the cleansing and the barrier. So I'll start by focusing on Decay. We'll then A2, get the provoke out and get the strengthen on us, which will draw Mischief's attention towards the Mischief Tank, and we'll just get some damage with Royal Guard. At this point, I'll get the block debuffs out. We'll obviously block that. We should get the decrease attack out hopefully quite soon. We are weak affinity, so it's a bit of an issue in that regards. We don't need to do anything other than A1 with Hugo. We'll hold back that ability. I'm just waiting at the moment to try and get the provoke out there. We've missed it. Decrease speed, got 1 turn there, so we can probably try. Hopefully we'll get the decrease attack out. We have. So, good news there. Now that we have decrease attack out, we're actually going to go after Wrath, try and trigger the counter attack, or the vengeance rather. First, we need to get provoke here, and we did this time. And we'll just reapply the decreased speed. You see, when we get the vengeance proc, it causes quite a lot of damage on whoever has the HP burn. Hopefully, by the time we get the next vengeance proc, we will have multiple HP burns out. Right, now let's get the provoke here from Bivold out again. You could certainly make a case for holding the first vengeance proc on Wrath until we have 2 HP burns out, and that probably would be optimum. We'll just get a little heal and cleanse there. And just A1 with Geomancer. We have the provoke out already, so this gives us our first opportunity to do the A3. So Wrath has had his turn and he's now ticking back up, so we can once again go after him, try and get the extra procs. We have lost decreased speed on Decay, so we'll actually try and get the decreased speed on Decay. HP burn's going to tick off, so I probably will take the opportunity here to reapply HP burn on Decay. Since Blight and Wrath both do AoE A1s, I like to try and keep them alive as long as possible. Then I get maximum reflect damage on the other two heads from Geomancer. We need to get our provoke up again. We've failed. We probably will get a full cleanse here. Or the vengeance before the cleanse came. So whilst he's got the buff, he doesn't tick up. Anyway, they got the cleanse out. We'll go back around, start reapplying. Get the provoke out again. Heal. Block buffs and decrease defense out. Start ticking up those, but again, we don't actually have any HP burns out. We'll reapply it on Decay. We had the provoke out, but we had no other abilities off cooldown, so there wasn't really anything needing to be done. We'll try and tick up Wrath's turn count. Get another takedown from Royal Guard. 2 turns left until he is consumed. We now have Mischief down. Mischief cannot consume our champion. So if we look at it currently, it looks like Wrath will take the turn next, and then Blight will consume Royal Guard. Try and get the provoke out. Some damage. Since we expect Blight to consume Royal Guard, I'm going to get the HP burn up on Blight. And in the meantime, we'll just keep damaging the exposed neck. Have the provoke out. Mischief is down. As a consequence, I'll use the A3 here. Interestingly, Blight did not consume. He overtook. Since he didn't have the decreased speed, he overtook Wrath. The Wrath is probably going to consume Royal Guard instead. There you go. There's a miscalculation there. 1 turn away from getting the HP burn back up. Now this time I don't want to proc Vengeance until Geomancer's got the HP burn up. Get the provoke out again. Up to 9 stacks, so we'll hit the exposed neck. Now we've got the HP burn up. Provoke is out. Let's get those ticks up. Interestingly, you saw there, we actually had 2 turns left on the exposed neck, and I've seen this a few times, but I'm not in content creator chat, so I can't ask Valerian why sometimes, even when you have 2 turns remaining, if you've done, it feels to me, if you've done like a lot of damage, get the head to repop early. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, we've freed Royal Guard, taken down 2 others, and now we have Torment. It's a pain, to be honest, but we do have Duchess, so we'll find a way around. I'll use the A2 here so as to not get True Fear on myself. Here, I'm going to get True Fear on myself. It doesn't really matter. We're just going to get an AoE hit out and get a bit of damage. And in fact, I'll cleanse that True Fear off with Ugo. We have Mischief back up. Let's buff ourselves, decrease speed. Get the True Fear again there. I'm going to go after Torment. Only does a single target hit and is very annoying. I'm going to hold off on the A2 in case this repops as Decay. We have 15 turns until consumption, so plenty of time to cycle back, so I'll go for the nuke. We have Blight back, so instead we're keen now to try and get block debuffs back up. Hopefully Ugo has that off cooldown. Safe to use the A2 now, get the strengthen up, make sure that I get aggro from Mischief. We have an exposed neck, I'll try and get decreased defense out with Royal Guard, put the block buffs out. Buff ourselves. And here we have a fear, 2 turns. We'll try and use the A2. Just hit the exposed neck. Go for the exposed neck. And go for the exposed neck. Give ourselves the veil. And then here, again, I'll focus for the 8th. No, we didn't get it. It was only a standard fear, so we won't lose the cooldown, but I will be going after Mischief once more. Again, we'll buff ourselves. Here we can now get the HP burnout on Mischief. We've got Blight up, who I like because of the AoE A1, which will trigger a lot of Geomancer's passive procs. We have 9 turns left, so still plenty of time to cycle back. I'm going to... I will reapply block buffs. Enough time to cycle back before Poison Cloud. There's actually another interesting thing I can mention. There's no point using Geomancer's HP burn on an exposed neck. It won't trigger his passive. When other Hydra heads attack you, you won't get those War Master style procs on the exposed neck. I don't know why, but you don't. You'll get the tick of damage from the HP burn itself, but you won't ever activate Geomancer's passive. I don't know if that's a bug or if it's intended, but it's how it works. We'll just A1 Blight here. So when heads respawn, this particular buff is extremely strong. So there's really no point targeting heads that have just popped. You're best off applying what debuffs you need to, but otherwise not worrying about actually targeting them from a damage perspective. We'll get our Veil up again. Go for an A1. Here we'll just go for an A1, doesn't matter, we've got Veil up, so we can safely target anyone. We'll get block buffs out again. That's the best way of nullifying suffering. We will probably want to try and get a decreased speed out. There, we've got True Fear, so I'm just going to go for an A1. It did proc, so we would have lost our cooldowns otherwise. But I'll strengthen back up to make sure that Mischief goes after the correct target, as he did seem to go after Nekmo. See, we did get an ally protection there as block buffs missed. Increase our speed again, decrease their speed. The 2 turns now until he's going to be eaten. We can once again try and figure out who's going to eat him. It's going to be either Mischief, Blight, or Torment. I can't actually tell which, because all of their turn meters are near full. I will put it on Torment on the off chance that it's actually Torment who's going to eat. And we've got another extra turn proc. Now we don't have an A2, so we're going to force ourselves to have True Fear on ourselves. There's no way around it. In fact, we're going to do it again anyway. And I'll use Ugo's Cleanse to get rid of all those True Fears. Torment went, Blight has eaten. We'll go for a nuke, and we've rescued Nekmo already. So for us, the biggest risk is if either of the DPS get eaten, and Geomancer is going to be eaten later. But as long as we have the other DPS, we usually can free them. If Royal Guard does get eaten later in the game, it does somewhat depend what the combination of heads are as to whether we can free him. I'm not going to HP burn Mischief. Mischief is already quite low. So I'm going to go after Suffering. One thing to keep an eye on with debuffing Suffering with Geomancer is this extra turn. At the moment he has 2 turns until he'll trigger that, so it's a good time to get the HP burn out. But if you do it too close to this skill being off cooldown, you won't actually have the HP burn up very long at all, so you won't get very good value from it. But in later stages, Suffering's really annoying, so I definitely, once we get past turn count like 100, I'd rather not have Suffering out. If we can kill him sooner than later and hope that he doesn't come back, that would be a good position for us. Another exposed head. We'll once again buff ourselves, debuff them. Keep going after this exposed neck, get the decreased defense. We've got the decreased speed, decreased defense, 2 turns on it, so we should get a decent amount of damage on this exposed neck. As long as he doesn't decide to re-proc or respawn early, which does sometimes happen, as we've seen in this run already. Damage out, get the decreased speed out on the other exposed neck. Go after Suffering again. For some reason resisted, that's pretty unlucky. Keep targeting the exposed necks. We've got 2 turns, so I feel safe to use the AoE. Otherwise I'd be saving that in case we get Decay popping. Let's keep going after the exposed necks. Now lights down as well. This time didn't pop early. After them again, still 9 turns. I'm going to hold off using the A2, however, with Nekmo, as I want to be able to decrease their speed as soon as the new heads spawn. Similarly with Ugo, I'm going to hold off until the new heads have spawned, and then I can get block buffs out straight away. Go for the HP burn again. Just keep hitting the exposed necks. And Decay has spawned. We've got the decreased speed out straight away on Blight and Decay. We'll now get the provoke out straight away. Now Ugo should get us our block buffs, decreased defense out straight away. So we've again instantly nullified Decay and Blight by making sure that we had the abilities ready as soon as those heads spawned. Now here, with 2 heads out with that damage mitigation buff, even if takedown was off cooldown, I'd hold it back until these 2 heads had taken a turn. We now have 3 heads in that situation. The decreased speed out straight away on Mischief. We have a provoke out, so we can go for the A3, get ourselves a bit of a heal. Only 1 head without the damage mitigation buff. We literally just target suffering with every champion. I will use takedown now. We've got 6 turns remaining. I'm confident we'll cycle back in time. It's not worth waiting for just 1 head. But I'd rather make sure that we can cycle back before Geomancer gets consumed. So with Nekmo, we want to get the HP burn out on Mischief as soon as possible. Go for the provoke on Decay. We didn't get it. I will hold Ugo's A2. The HP burnout. Right, and get decreased speed on Mischief. We did. It's there for longer. Now we'll get the provoke out again. This time we'll use Ugo's. Actually, it's unlikely we'll get it, but I want to try and steal the ally protection. Just keep targeting suffering. Two turns now until Geomancer gets eaten. 1 turn. So it looks like Mischief's going to be the one to consume. We really want to get this provoke out, to be honest. There's nothing worse than having a consumption and then immediately everyone getting cleansed. We'll hold back that takedown for when Geomancer's been consumed. Strangely enough, Mischief decided to skip. So here's actually something that I can tell you. If I provoke Decay, Decay will not consume Geomancer. If I don't provoke Decay, Decay will consume Geomancer. So I'm going to not provoke him. You can see Decay will consume rather than cleanse. And consumed. Get the damage out. Now, if Decay had been provoked, he wouldn't have consumed Geomancer, it would have done an A1. And then Suffering would have consumed Geomancer, which would have been a pain. Suffering's much harder to release a champion from. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to run through the rest of this fight. If there is something particularly interesting, I'll bring you back in, but most likely I'm just going to let it run out. I'll keep fighting all the way through. We'll come back near the end and we'll see what kind of damage we're able to get done. So here Duchess should be consumed next. It will be Wrath to consume because Decay is provoked. Even if Decay goes first, it won't matter. Hopefully we'll get to see. Wrath has gone first. You would think Decay should consume now, but Decay cannot. So Decay a wand, and now Wrath will consume. We did not get the provoke, so we're going to get a full cleanse here. Bit annoying. But it does happen. Also means we don't have decrease attack out. Even though we have takedown off cooldown, I'm going to hold it back. Only 2 turns until Nekmo gets eaten. Try and work out who is going to consume. Provoke out. The decreased defense out. Go for the takedown. Kill 2 heads. Nearly got Torment out. Go for the provoke. We do not want life barrier. I'm going to hold off using Geomancer's A3. So if we do get life barrier out, we're going to need it. Pretty bad situation for us right now. We've got 1 turn left. No heads. No Geomancer. HP burnout yet. No decreased speed. Have to see what we can do. All because of 1 provoke being missed. And we've lost Nekmo at 51 million. It's not going to be a good key. And that's where the RNG can become quite annoying. 2 A1s didn't land either of them. You can try and mitigate the RNG as much as possible. It sometimes goes wrong. If it just had the decreased speed out even, it would have been enough. It was the full cleanse plus like everything all at once. So there we have it. Not the best key by any stretch of the imagination. Losing Nekmo early was a real problem. But it was just bad RNG. Should we keep the key? Reality is my clan is still struggling, so I'd prefer to try and I'm going to redo the key, in fact, and try and get closer to 90 million. Right then, now we are 205 turns in, 45 minutes through. Royal Guard is 2 turns away from being consumed, so I'm going to hold back Geomancer's A3 until we know who is going to be consuming Royal Guard. We need to somehow rescue him. The only way to do so is to know who's going to be taking him. I think it's going to end up being Suffering. Annoying. have it. 108.8 million damage. Let's take a little screenshot of that. We got 66 minutes. Royal Guard doing 37 million. Geomancer 41 million. Nearly 10 million from Bivold and Nekmo. 7 million from Ugo. Obviously, Duchess doing very little damage without having any kind of War Master on her. But the majority of the damage coming from Royal Guard and Geomancer. It's another new PB. Glad you've been able to follow some of the run. We'll keep that result. And we'll quickly go look through the builds very, very quickly, as it's going to be a very long video, as it is. So, Bivold I have as a Mischief Tank. Good speed, enough resistance for Nightmare, a little bit shy enough resistance for Brutal, a little bit shy for Nightmare, but overall it's okay. Enough accuracy for Brutal. Good speed. A bit of damage. I mean, his effective HP could be higher, and I would like his base HP to be quite a lot higher. Would do more damage if it was, but my gear's just not quite there at the moment. But overall, that's the best build I could get. Does have one piece of Blood Shield, which is important, particularly if you have Duchess in your team, giving people shields via her A1. You want to make sure that your Mischief Tank reasonably consistently takes Mischief's attention. You need to make sure he's able to give himself a shield as well. Here you can see at 6-piece Perception is the only way I'm able to get these stats at the moment. Ideally, I would have him in Refresh if I could. On the skills, they are booked, and in terms of masteries, I've gone down this path so far. War Master and Lasting Gift. I haven't yet decided what I will do as the last two remaining masteries. Nekmo Thar, built out in Relentless. We have a look at the stats. Good effective HP, pretty quick, good accuracy. I will at some point try and build him in a taunting set, but my taunting gear is not that great. The skills are done, and I do quite like him in Relentless, to be honest. He gets a lot of extra turns, and it does help. War Master and Master Hexer being the most important. Again, two more masteries I've not yet selected. Not entirely sure what I want for the final two. Duchess is built for Arena in Swift Parry, rocking 500 resistance, pretty quick, very high effective HP. That is all there is to say about that. Skills are done. Masteries down to Unshakable, also Lasting Gifts. Geomancer, this one is in Relentless. I also use this Geomancer for Bommel. I've also given him one Blood Shield accessory. He does actually have enough resistance that he can Mischief Tank as well, so I just decided it would be good to give him the Blood Shield accessory to try and give myself a secondary option that way, and one piece of Refresh. Look at the total stats. Good effective HP, ideally that defense would be a couple of hundred higher. Good speed, and the resistance for Bobble / Mischief Tanking, plus the accuracy for Bobble and Hydra. I have used him in Nightmare as well, so you don't need the resistance, though, to be honest. You could easily run him without the resistance and swap out the Blood Shield for a different ring. The skills are done. In terms of masteries, I've gone down to War Master, I've gone to Sniper, because I do like him for decreased accuracy. I've got Master Hexer for both the decreased accuracy, the HP burn, Cycle of Magic, Arcane Celerity, really anything that can get me 4 turns. I'm looking to cycle as fast as possible, get as many chances to use his A3 as possible. Ugo, also in Relentless, also with 1 piece of refresh at the moment, ideally would like more. Very good effective HP, good speed, good accuracy, nothing else looking in the build. In terms of skills, they're obviously done. And in terms of masteries, we've gone down to War Master again, and very similar to, well, I think it's actually identical to Geomancer, Cyclomagic, Sniper, and Master Hexer. I have actually gone for Blade Disciple here, as you actually get more damage. It's a higher value mastery for Ugo than Deadly Precision. And then Royal Guard, this one is my Relentless Royal Guard. In terms of stats, good effective HP, again ideally that defense level will be a couple of hundred higher. Good speed, decent crit damage, and good accuracy. I use this Royal Guard also in Dark Fae 120. In terms of the skills, obviously done. And in terms of masteries, we have War Master, we also have Sniper for the decreased speed, and Master Hexer for both decreased speed and decreased defense. Actually, Sniper is also helping for, so again, a lot of benefits. In the last mastery here, I will probably go for Cyclomagic. I've just been sort of delaying picking it, trying to decide exactly what is going to be optimum. There we go. There we have it. Thanks for watching. I hope this video has been useful to you. I hope it'll help you build your own teams and beat Hydra. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.